Does this thing work? Hey, how's it going? Welcome. It's been quite a while again. I took another break because I was moving house and stuff, so I'm in a new space. I apologize if there's any echo and everything. I'm gonna put some more stuff on the walls. And yeah, welcome. Good to be back. Hey, what's up, Taryn? Thank you so much for 12 months. Holy cow, that's sweet. I appreciate it. Uh, all right. Well, yeah, I was kind of thinking earlier today that I haven't done this in quite a while, and weekends are pretty busy anymore working on stuff for the house, but I figure I might as well at least give it a try. Doing one of these weeknights while I'm feeling a little bit motivated. Maybe we can get in here, excuse me, and work on some stuff. And I know in particular, I've been thinking about this repo for a while. There are a lot of open issues, things I kind of want to take a look at, see if we can go through and probably tidy some stuff up and maybe close out some issues, some duplicate things. But I think really the big problem with this is I only use Linux and I only care about Linux. So the Linux stuff works just fine. But I guess there are people running things like Mac, Windows, cross compile weird stuff, and they are running into strange problems. So I think probably what we're going to do is evaluate the current state of things, definitely switch in GitHub Actions and fix the CI builds and such. And once we do that, I will probably take a look at the GitHub issues and see what we can do. Looking for something Netbox webhooks related. My name popped up in GitHub at the same time. Nice. Yeah, that was a while ago. That would have been something I wanted to. We were looking at building an IPAM thing at DigitalOcean. So whenever we got a new prefix created in Netbox, I wanted a notification from one of our systems so we could start provisioning virtual machines from that. And I don't think we ever ended up actually getting there. I left the company before the IPAM project was rolled out, but would have been cool. Hello, long time no see. Yeah, no kidding. It's been a couple months, and even before then, it was a little bit sporadic. I apologize. It's sometimes hard to find the motivation, And I mean, frankly, I've just been a lot more focused on real life stuff versus like open source. Like, I still love open source. I love programming. I love solving problems, but I've been kind of trying to put it to rest at the end of the workday and just go live my life, go work out, go do something. I got a mountain bike that's pretty fun. I've been playing Beat Saber. I'm going back to the gym now, so life is pretty good. I should turn on some music before I forget. Let's see here. And I gotta make sure it's muted. I don't want to get DMCA'd. Yeah, okay, we're good. Let's see. That'll work. I gotta fix my levels. Okay. All right. So we need to get GitHub Actions on this. This CI build is ancient. I'm still using the builds source hut stuff. Yeah, some of this is going to be a little bit, Go 114. Yeah, I haven't touched this repo in about a year, I think. So let's go to one of my newer repos, I guess, and copy and paste some of the logic. So something like the CoreRad repo, I'm guessing, will have pretty up-to-date CI configurations and such. Oh, we got BSD in here too. Linux test, Linux integration test. Yeah, we can split up different workflows. I think I'll probably do the same thing. You found out one of your projects is still on trial CI? Yeah, sounds about right. So this has been failing for a while. I think because, yeah, BSD works fine. I forget exactly. Yeah, somebody submitted a pull request to like revert the. I'm just gonna go ahead and close that out. They just reverted a commit for no reason. Please don't waste my time. I think that's pretty fair. When somebody submits something that doesn't really have any value and they're just trying to, for no explanation whatsoever. Actually, I guess I probably should check the Go mod, but I did check it the other day and it seemed to work fine. So at least locally, not enough data for expected does not exist. Got not enough data for network error code. Huh. Interesting. Okay, we might need to fix that, I guess. So let's go ahead and bump everything while we're at it. So dependencies, update, tests, do it. So probably since we last touched this, I might have done a little bit with the netlink library to fix up the error handling. So go.mod, bump dependencies. Okay. Let's see here. So that was the internal WG Linux. right? So we got a couple go test -v dot. Probably shouldn't do go test or -v. Okay. Yeah, so the netlink library, so I guess it's possible. Hang on one sec. Probably, hang on. Let me edit. My apologies. It appears library bump may have broken a test. I'll fix this myself, but thanks for your time. Well, okay, so the thing is here is like when you just say reverts go mod with no explanation whatsoever, it's like, what do you expect from me? Like it looks to me like you're just trying to waste my time, if you're trying, people who update readme.md and they change the wording or super awesome Golang, like anyway, lesson learned here. First thing back on the stream. Oops. Anyway. Jeez, man. All right. Let's pretend that never happened. So what did I change here? It does not exist. Okay. Oh, GE Netlink test stuff. Oh man. So this is all synthesized. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? You missed something good? I was just being I told an open source contributor to not waste my time, only to realize that they just didn't explain themselves, but they were probably in the right. So, oops, I modified my thing. What does the go watch do? Yeah, it's an alias. Let me show you really quick. Bin go watch. It basically just runs go test with the flags It basically runs go test with the flags I specify, and then doesn't notify wait on all the files in the directory. So I tend to just to run this to keep running something over and over again. So for example, I know VS Code has like the integrated testing and such, but I always use a separate terminal because typically I've got my vertical monitor over here where I have an entire test terminal. When I'm streaming, it's all on one screen, but generally this is just more convenient for me. I'm gonna go ahead and make a split there too, so I can, there we go. Keep things in range for all of you. Yeah, my bad. I messed up. Anyway, this doesn't really make sense to me at the moment. Did I not bump the generic netlink package? Oh man, I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? GE Netlink 1.0. Yeah, I haven't touched this library in a long time. I'm thinking possibly I may have changed the format of. I may have changed the error handling slightly so that the library parses things in a different way. Hang on one sec. Not enough data for a netlink error code. Last you checked, the GE Netlink was still working. Yeah, so the GE Netlink does, but the GE Netlink test, the NL test and GE NL test stuff is a little probably out of date at this point. I'm going to be honest, I might just delete this test. Like, it's not doing me that much good at the moment, and the GE NL test stuff is busted, it would seem. So, but this one works fine. Right? Why? Expected is not exist, but got. So the other, hang on. So this test works fine. This test is doing effectively the same thing. So test init client. Yeah, this one works fine. What's different? Dial call. Hey, hello. Welcome back to my stream. I'm already making a fool of myself. I've forgot my manners, and I forgot how to use my own libraries. I'll be honest, I I think that whenever I get back to netlink stuff in any kind of big way, I think we're going to make V2. We're going to break the APIs we have right now and do something totally different for the testing story. For a matter of avoiding things like allocations. Like right now, the libraries produce messages for you, but they have to allocate their own data. The header is too short. Yes, you are correct. But the problem is that I think that the GE netlink test library is doing something it shouldn't, and I honestly don't really want to go fix it right now. So I think we're either going to skip the test for now or possibly delete it. Yeah, this is... I think the GE netlink library needs to be fixed. So skipping GE netlink GE NL test needs an update. You've not upgraded to version 1.3. I think we have version 1.4 now, and I'm pretty sure... I don't remember exactly what we did, but I need to look at this again too. But let's see, what did we... We got a version 1.4. Yeah, you want 1.3. This stuff will... or I guess you want 1.4 now, but I tidied up a lot of things when I was working on it for work. I was able to get rid of a lot of indirection and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and skip that test for now. This is GENL test needs to be reworked to do MD layer. Not ideal, but this test is not particularly load bearing, and the entire RNL test ecosystem needs to be reworked. I'm gonna go ahead and do that for now. Skip GNL test. Test using GNL test for now. That should fix things up a little bit. So, you know what's really weird is I hopped on here and Twitch is like, oh, what's up? 2 viewers. And I'm like, oh, I see Terran's here. Okay, cool. This is going to be a slow start. And then suddenly it jumps to 20 and it's like, oh, cool. All right. You know, impromptu weeknight stream. I'm good with that. I don't have the following that like large data bank does these days, but yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hope I can at least show some folks some cool stuff. So now all the tests pass, which is good. We need to look at WireGuard wgctrl-go. So this is already using netlink 1.4. It is. You don't know what you do. My programming stream start at 2 and stay at 2. Yeah. I wish I could do it like on a consistent schedule. The problem is that weekends are too variable and I can't really do it during work. So makes things a little more difficult. Anyway, this passes for now. So let's go back to what we were doing and copy off some of these. We're going to copy some of our YAML files here and set up GitHub actions for this, I think. Congrats on the move, by the way. Hey, thanks. Yeah, it's been great so far. I'm in my first house. It's awesome. It's taken definitely some time to get used to, but I'm getting there. I've been here for a couple weeks now. Hopefully you're all settled. Yeah, I'm getting there. There's still, still boxes of stuff or things that I just haven't quite tidied. So for example, like my computer and everything is all set up, but it's not cable managed at all, so it looks like a total mess. Need to climb underneath my standing desk and get some cable ties and clean everything up, but it's just a lot of work. So kind of trying to prioritize things like actually, getting the house together, kitchen, those are higher priority than like my office, right? So let's go ahead and create some GitHub workflows over here. Workflows. Linux test.yaml. So basically the same thing, set up Go, run the tests, but now we're gonna have to do some of we could do the integration test pattern as well if we want to. The way I've been doing the GitHub actions stuff for a long time is I've been setting up like regular tests, integration tests, and then like static analysis all as separate jobs because they all run in parallel and they're very quick that way. So, hey, which microphone do you use? I have a... Hi, very happy to see you again. Hey, thanks. It's good to be back. Let's see here. Is this Yeah, so that blog post right there, I think this is the Audio-Technica AT2035, I want to say. But that blog post right there, I just dropped in the chat. I can just pull it up, I suppose, too. Audio. Yep, AT2035. So I've got my setup here as of about a year ago. Very little has changed. I have an Elgato key light now, but that is the only real difference. So cool. So we're probably going to do the same pattern over here. So we'll have just the regular tests, which run the tests with the race detector. We'll have the integration tests. So Linux integration test YAML. Thank you. Yeah, no problem at all. Happy to help. It's cool like writing all this stuff down because people can take inspiration from your setup and give you different different ideas and such too. So actually fixing these integration tests is going to be possibly a non-trivial amount of work. Static analysis. Go version 116. Okay, I think we can close this for now. So we've got static check, run vet. We don't have the CI build script. Some of this stuff is, oh, we do. Oh, that's right. I forgot how hard this was. Because we do like the PPA for installing WireGuard and such and actually run all the tests with WireGuard. I think, though, these days, whichever version of Ubuntu that GitHub Actions are using should have WireGuard built into the kernel. This might actually be a lot easier. I guess we'll see. WireGuard Go. And I had a couple things in here so that I could build directives to avoid makefile. Why? See, the problem is I wrote this stuff a couple years ago now, so I'm already forgetting details. Anyway, let's see what we can get working, and then we'll deal with that. So this is just static analysis. We have static check and vet. That's fine. Ubuntu latest. And then for the integration test, isn't there a setup go v2 action now and stuff? I'll be honest, I know almost nothing about GitHub Actions. I just kind of copy and paste stuff. But I think there's like checkout v2, setup go v2, but I have no idea what the differences are at all. So static check go lint, test with race. We already do that. You want it because it fixed a super annoying bug. Okay, yeah, so setup go v2, and is there checkout v2 as well? And should I have those in all of my files, I'm guessing? That seems familiar to me for some reason. Oh, this should be in here. Yes. You think checkout v2's thing as well? Use the nix actions. There's nix actions. I'll be honest, I'm off my game. Ever since I kind of for a few months now, I've been pretty off my game when it comes to like tech stuff. Setup go v2, fix adding go bin to the go path. Ah, I see. Okay. The system path. Yeah, I'm pretty off my game as far as this stuff goes. So I'm kind of coming back to this like basically brand new, and I'm gonna have to reestablish context. But I guess that's cool too, because like I can sit here and struggle a little bit and still show you all some stuff. So for our integration tests, we want to copy roughly these steps as well. New set of eyes. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So WireGuard go. I guess what can we data dev D, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. What does GitHub Actions allow you to do? Like, can you run sudo commands? Yeah, you can. Huh. You try to keep your GitHub actions as small as possible because they get ugly fast. So you literally don't give names to any imported actions. You just use the uses. It's a full VM, and you can even do Docker and Docker. Interesting. Okay. I'm curious what kind of WireGuard stuff will be available. I'm gonna try just the kernel module for now. So we're gonna, let's see here. Check out the code. We're going to. You would be surprised if the kernel had WireGuard. Well, it's Ubuntu, and I think Ubuntu packages. Oh, does Ubuntu package it, or no? It's just upstream kernel. I guess we'll find out, right? So build integration test binary, and then we'll actually run the tests. Runs on Ubuntu latest is the key. Yep. Is there a TLDR of what you're currently working on? Yeah, so we're coming back to the wgctrl-go stuff for the first time in a long time. And kind of the goal here actually is to, the goal basically is to kind of update the CI setup to use GitHub Actions and then eventually go through some of the issues and clean things up because I felt kind of guilty with this project. It seems like it's actually gaining some traction and stuff, and I kind of want to just like take a sweep through and see what I can do to fix things up for a couple hours tonight. And I guess just maybe address some of the longer standing bugs and stuff too. It's not a fast VM. One I actually tried to convert videos with it, and it was slow. Yeah, I can imagine. It's probably pretty limited. So WG control test. Yeah. Is that word wrapping okay? Wasn't sure if the YAML formatter was doing the right thing. You've got some simple public Go stuff going on at... Nice. Thank you. Oh, so you're checking like Go formatting and... okay. Yeah, I think my needs are even more simple than this at the moment, but I believe so. Let's see what happens if I do this, right? So we've got our static analysis, we've got our Linux test, which is going to run the test without the race or with the race detector, and then we've got this that'll actually run the integration test as well. So, yeah, let's see what happens, right? It's been quite a while, so shoot. I got GitHub, excuse me, yeah. Initial GitHub actions, workflows. Should probably do this on a branch. Dependabot also works for actions. Yeah, I've seen people use Dependabot a few times. I personally don't mind just updating my dependencies by myself. So, I don't know. It'll warn you if using sub Go v1. Gotcha. Let's take a look here. Go ahead and do it. All right, so source hut jobs, there we go. So these are the ones I really care about. I want to see if these actually work. Static check. Run all the tests. Oh, hey. Did that work? Oh, no, I think it worked because there are no... So it actually ran the test, but it didn't actually do anything because I don't think there's any WireGuard devices in the VM yet. So we're actually going to need to create a device first, right? I mean, it makes sense. I just want to see, yeah, cool, these all pass. You can find some third-party actions if you don't want to write in bash for stuff like static check. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, my use of it is pretty simple at the moment. Like, I don't think any of this is particularly egregious. Like, some of this stuff is going to be more so, but... So I need to copy a little bit of this. I need to set up a WireGuard link and bring it up and then see what happens, I suppose. Let's see here. Great. WireGuard interface. Run. bring up WireGuard interface. Yep. So we're going to add a WireGuard interface. We're going to bring it up, and then we'll run the test, and the test will pick it up. And because we specified the yes, really do it, I know, environment variable, it will should work. So let's give that another shot. What am I? Hub. So did I see the FreeBSD build actually still worked? I think. Because that also, there's a little bit of magic. I was using SourceHut for a little bit, and it works, it works pretty well. But I think the GitHub Actions just for Linux and Mac is easier. But since this can do like the BSD stuff, that's kind of nice too. What failed already? You've been trying to get Tailscale running in a jail. Me. That sounds like a non-trivial amount of work. Oh, did that work? Hang on. Is that easy? Hey, check it. Yeah, it totally worked. Cool. So you mentioned you wasn't sure if I could bring up WireGuard interfaces. I totally can. So it created an interface. It actually configured it. Yeah, that's cool. So I think the one thing now is that I had a setup that would also allow it to run the user space stuff. Was kind of nice. So these are going to be broken. How broken are these? These are broken because of the trying to install the PPA, right? Yeah. You run Tailscale and GitHub Actions, but it's kind of a mess. It sounds difficult. I've never tried, but it sounds difficult. I think I'm probably, I'll be honest, I kind of just want to go nuclear on these and get rid of the, hang on, OpenBSD. OpenBSD has it built in now, so, but this does not work because, why? Undefined OS write file. Oh. Why does OpenBSD not have Go 116? Packages Go, OpenBSD latest. Yeah, huh. So whatever OpenBSD latest is doesn't have Go 116? That's a nuisance. Wonder why. Have I ever statically compiled a C library into a Go binary for Windows? I have done neither of those things. I don't ever really develop on Windows, and also I've actually never done the C library, statically compiled a C library into a Go binary. I tend to avoid CGO as much as possible. For the stuff that I do, I'm generally doing like network protocol stuff. There's native Go implementations, or I'll write my own like system cally stuff. I can use Repology to check the package versions. Cool. Okay. Ah, that's pretty cool. Thanks for the link. OpenBSD ports 116 too. I mean, that's like a little older, but it should be current enough. What version of Go did it install, I wonder? Huh. Maybe the OpenBSD image on source side is pretty old. I suppose it's possible. OpenBSD ports, do you have port set up? Probably not. I just have whatever the packages thing is here. I have no idea how. I'm not really a BSD person, so I'm not sure how that's all set up. Oh, there's a difference. Gotcha. We can probably get rid of this. So the CI build stuff, let's see here. Configure a WireGuard interface. Set up WireGuard Go. Oh, so I could just run this git clone. So I think actually the rest of this will work because it's all built in now. I think I can actually just get rid of all this PPA stuff and just do this to configure the kernel interface. And then on Linux, we do the make thing. It's been a while since I've touched this. Okay, let's try that. Why not? Should be executable, so... let's see here, setup, integration, test environment, WireGuard interfaces, run. What directory does, oh, this executes from the root, doesn't it? So, ci build.sh, right? So roughly that, excuse me. Okay. Let's give this one more shot. CI build, GitHub. The source.docs say it uses package which should install from ports.no. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. If I can get the if I can get the Linux stuff working, that's all I really care about, to be honest. Everything else is just kind of a best effort. Like the OpenBSD stuff is, I had it working at one point. It should be no different as far as I know. Give us another shot, and then we'll go ahead and delete the old files too. Oh, this is failing now. Why? Cannot create home build. What did I do? I think I might have had some stuff in here. Oh, shoot. Hello. Weird when windows reappear on the wrong screen. How did I... Oh, I think I had some paths hard-coded because of the source hut environment. Home build go bin. Yeah, this is not right. Do I just have to put this in path? Should I go? I should probably go install this instead, shouldn't I? See, the problem is I'm moving this between CI systems as well, so there's just an extra level of complication here where all of these assumptions about old paths no longer hold. So, what a pain. So we want to move WireGuard Go into the bin directory. So we call them WireGuard Go. What's the bin directory? I guess I don't even know the GitHub Actions like home directory. I have no idea what the setup is like. So GitHub Actions file system. Right. / GitHub / home. / GitHub / workspace. So is that, I guess, where's the Go path created in GitHub Actions? Because Jimmy mentioned something about putting the bin directory in path, right? Because that's actually exactly what I want right now. Fix adding Go bin to the Go path. So last I knew, if I try and install, when I set Go v2 should do that for me. So last I knew, when I tried to clone, for example, the WireGuard Go stuff, bunch of random stuff in here. Let's see. So if I try and just like clone and install WireGuard Go, oh, I see he got rid of the. Did he get rid of the? Hang on a sec. WG user 0. Run go install, you'd be good. Oh. So he did get rid of the. Okay. So at one point there was like an entire thing that like broke your compilation if you tried to like use WireGuard Go on Linux, but I see Jason got rid of that. So that's good. That actually makes my life much easier. I could just copy a binary to user local bin. Yeah, I might just do that then. Might just do that. Does that also exist on BSD? Probably. Right. All right, let's give that a shot. Now let's go ahead and delete the Linux action too. One more try. Oh. Let's see here. Right. Let's give it another shot. See what's going on. I thought I got rid of the. Are there multiple copies of like the build manifest in this repo? Internal CI build. Huh. Oh, hey. It claims to have passed. So. So remove, yeah, so it built WireGuard Go. Did I forget to actually call it, I think? Yeah, I think I forgot to actually just like invoke it. So let's see here. WireGuard Go ton 0. Of course, this is where I just deleted the line that I need to copy and paste. That would be from. It's pretty funny watching me flail at my own stuff I set up forever ago. Yeah, this whole ridiculous environment variable. Yeesh, man. All right. So the device is set up. So on Linux, then we. Let's see here. Start WireGuard Go user space device. Okay, I think that'll work. What is going on here? Oh. All right, there we go. So now we're going to actually start the device and see how that works. So amend one more time. Always be amending and force pushing. Sorry, my life. I'm actually not sure where this Go like 112 build is coming from anymore. Waiting for, oh, it's not actually running. Maybe I had that at one point and I made it like a required, let's see. Notifications? No. Integrations, branches, security, branch rules. Ah, yeah. There we go. And then I'll add more workflows in a sec here too. Okay, so did this work? So WireGuard go. Yes, it did. Yeah, so check it out. So now we've got the integration test running with both the kernel device and the user space device. So we can verify any changes we make continue to work under both environments, which is good. So cool. It has been a minute since I have touched this, so I'm pretty glad it didn't take us that long to get it going. The source hut stuff, yeah, the OpenBSD Go version is old for some reason, I think. Let's see. FreeBSD, OpenBSD. So FreeBSD is still running. OpenBSD fails because of the Go version, right? Yeah, that's odd. Module requires Go 116. I don't know enough. Even with old Go, I could use GoDL or whatever to get a copy on the new OS. Yeah, I think I could, but I'll be honest, troubleshooting CI builds is not my idea of a good time. So I'll probably just leave it alone for now. Good old open source best effort. So it looks like FreeBSD is chugging along. Hang on. Let's see here. I think we're probably gonna move on for now. This is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and merge this. It still improves the situation somewhat. Actually, I should swap out the badge on the README too for the GitHub Actions badge. So I can copy that again from the Corrad repo because it's probably the easiest place to go. And we should probably grab the package.go, what do you call it, go.dev badge too. Excuse me. This is still Godoc. Oh, well. What's a newer repo I have? My ETH tool stuff? ETH tool? This is pretty fun too. I'd like to get back to that project. The problem with the ETH tool stuff is that the kernel interface is still evolving, or the generic netlink interface is still evolving, and some of the stuff I wanted, like the stats, were not available. So, right. So we'll swap that import path for the. I know this is silly, but I get offended whenever people type Golang out. I don't know why it's not Godot, but it's whatever. I'm picky. Let's see here. Test status. Linux %20 tests, I think is what it is. %20 is the HTML space, right? Or the URL encode space. So get rid of the Godoc badge. Okay, I think that's it. You don't like Google Go with the exclamation point? Yeah. People are awful. Now, really, I don't really care like on the internet that much, but I do get offended when people say Golang out loud. That makes me upset. It's like you can do whatever you want, but I'm gonna judge you if you say Golang out loud. I break that badge. Okay, getting there. Oh, it's because I broke the, yeah, it's because this github.com WireGuard. Sheesh. You're gonna say it every time you're around me now? Please don't. You're the worst. WireGuard wgctrl-go. That's the problem. Golang, Ziglang, Rustlang, Anglang. How are people going to know if you're talking about the Go language and Go the game? Do you know Go? I think based on context, right? Like, if I'm hanging out with programmers, I'm not going to assume they're talking about Go the game, you know? This has got to be right now. I can't believe I spent like a damn hour on a CI build, man. This is not going to be a 4-hour stream, by the way. This is probably going to be a couple hours, and I'm going to go play some Beat Saber and chill out. Did I still get it wrong? You wish people called it C-lang so it's easier to Google stuff about C. I guess I always typed in like C programming when I was looking up stuff for C, but I haven't written C in a very long time, so. All right, ship it. Use your administrator power. Anyway. Fix that up. Oh, is this still broken? The stupid GitHub Actions badge. When you have trouble with strings in C and you Google C string and immediately regret. Fantastic. I love it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, it's because I copy paste bullshit. Yeah, the usual. Fix the CI badge. Okay. So, yeah, there's been actually a lot of work in the WireGuard ecosystem over the past like few months and stuff. So, there is support to FreeBSD. I understand it was briefly in, and then there was some concern about the quality of the implementation, so that was pulled out. So that's being reworked a little bit. But eventually, I want to support that one as well. The OpenBSD implementation still works. I don't think I have the development VM set up anymore. One sec. Do I have any? So ever since I moved, a lot of my home labby stuff is not like set up at the moment. So, oh, hang on, I might. So I've got a virtual machine here called WG OpenBSD, but actually I think the problem is it's actually included in newer kernels, so I probably just want to totally reinstall this virtual machine. But it would be cool to test the OpenBSD setup again. So that is something I do want to do at some point. Otherwise, yeah, I guess just go through some of the issues and see what's going on. Again, a lot of this stuff is like, folks holding it wrong, perhaps, or whatever, but FreeBSD kernel interface, yep. WireGuard kernel module for FreeBSD. Let's see here. Yep, this is being worked on actively by Jason and Matt, who did the FreeBSD or the OpenBSD implementations. That's cool. That's good to hear. That is something I will have to check out at some point. So CI build integration test for Windows, yeah, that would be kind of nice. I guess with GitHub Actions now, it wouldn't be too bad. It's just that installing stuff for Windows, like installing WireGuard Go in like a headless way, might be tougher. Why did... Failed 17 minutes ago. Okay. I got a GitHub notification that one of my CI builds failed, and I was confused, but it was just it was one of those intermediate ones. Yeah, this is an idea I had a long time ago. I kind of wanted to build something that was like a higher level type that could like apply a bunch of changes at once. So given the reality is like lots of people don't really understand the kernel interface, like where things divide. So like if we were to make it so that like, you set up a bunch of operations you want to do, like configuring a device and setting some set of peers, and then it figures out the changes that need to happen, it can apply those all at once instead of you having to understand the kernel interface, which would be kind of cool. But this is nothing I'm going to get to unless I have some bigger need for this. Let's see here. Network namespace. Yeah, let's see here. Network namespaces. New client with a network namespace. Yeah, I think the problem with like adding something for network namespaces specifically is that is a Linux only concept, and WireGuard runs on multiple platforms. So I think that perhaps if you're getting to that point, you're either going to want to run your application in that namespace or do some setting up on your own, perhaps. I guess it's worth noting my netlink library actually will inherit the namespace. So if you were to modify the threads namespace for yourself, my netlink library will also inherit that namespace. So you can do it. It's a little subtle, but right? That's still a thing. We did a lot of rework in the netlink library. Let's see here. So documentation, network namespaces, the config structure, right? Yeah. So if it's not set, a best effort will be made to enter the network namespace of the calling thread. So this means that any changes to the calling thread's network namespace will also be reflected in con. Right. So I think I can probably, at this point, just close this issue out because I don't see myself wanting to expose network namespaces at this level. I feel like it would be awkward. I guess at that point, I would consider maybe exposing the internal package so you can actually tune things a little bit more. But as far as the high-level interface, I don't see myself ever exposing this. It's been quite a while, but don't think it makes sense to expose something like this in the high-level cross-platform interface. Callers with a knowledgeable caller can either run their application or Go routine OS thread in a different network namespace, and things should just work, but I'd rather not encourage it at an API layer level. One down. Unable to download via GoGet on Windows. Over a year ago. Oops. I guess I think I do have like a Windows 10 development VM that probably is going to need major updates and stuff. Oh, you know what? I'm pretty sure all of these VMs are bridged into the second interface of my server, which is not on the internet at the moment because it's not plugged into the switch downstairs. Oops. What is the easiest way for me to fix this? This is the problem with moving, is that like I had to like reset a bunch of my home labby stuff. So things are just not set up sufficiently. Maybe Windows has improved in the past year. Yeah, I mean, I use Windows 10 on my home theater PC, and I think my biggest gripe with Windows is how much it prompts you and advertises to you now. It's always advertising some cloud service or something or some game or telemetry. Like, it's got all this stuff I just don't want. Like, it just gets in my way. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I had to program a serial device with this, too. Yeah, no network connection. Shit. Well, Windows might not really be an option right now. I guess this would mean that all my VM setup is not workable at the moment because they're all off the internet, because I'd have to set up the lab VLAN and get them all back online. I could potentially add the lab VLAN to the switch and then plug things back in, and it might just work. Okay. So we have the bridge interface and it's up, and I think it's bridged into the second NIC. Let's see here. VLANs just work. Yeah, exactly. Is this something I really want to get into right now? I don't think I do. I think this is a project for another day. So I'm gonna anything that requires a VM right now, we're not gonna deal with. It's just it's not worth it. It's not worth it at the moment. I would like to take a look at this. Chances are pretty good this was some transient issue, I'm guessing. Let's see here. I'm tempted just to close this out because it's been a long time, but I know that's not really a good thing either. Let's see here. In Go 113, we can use errors is... okay. So yeah, so now that we're on Go 116, I don't care about dropping support for old versions of Go anymore. I think what does the netlink library support at this point? I forget. Let's see here. (112)? Yeah. The netlink library supports 112 because that was the oldest release I could go without making compromises. But I could just say WireGuard control Go only supports 113. There's nothing really wrong with that. So I should consider renaming the branch too. I know there are tools for that now. I should probably look at doing that. So let's see here. Is not exist. Yeah, so we've got a few things in here where we're checking that we can start using the newer errors is paradigms. That would be a good thing to do. Swap that. Is not exist. Is not exist. So yeah, these high-level functions will give you an error can be checked using OS is not exist. Yeah, so let's see here. Checked using errors is error OS error not exist. Actually, do backticks work on package.go.dev? I think they might. They might. Because of the markdown support. Do they work down here? I don't remember. Anyway, so we're going to swap out all the error checking for the new errors is pattern, and that means we can provide better errors underneath the library, which would be good too. So you use them as if they do. Gotcha. I'll probably do the same thing then. You don't know if they do. Gotcha. Errors is, yep. Oh, 1 sec, I gotta sneeze. Oh. Thanks. Oh. Okay, so we swapped out a couple of those from the client. So then we have all the tests as well. So is not exist, yeah, that sort of stuff. Is not exist. Errors is error OS error not exist. And this will be nice because this means that we can start wrapping the errors with more context, which would be sweet. So Yeah, Netlink does not exist. That's really old. That is, yeah, that's an API I deprecated a while ago. So client Linux, okay. Maintain compatibility with old versions of Go. Right. That'll do it. Oh. Follow the bracket. Okay. Don't bother querying with an empty input. Yep. OS error not exist. So we're using a type assertion here because the netlink library will never wrap errors in anything else. So typically this is a case where you would use errors.as in new code, but I think the type assertion is probably still okay. I'm a little less errors as is handy when it comes to like writing application code, but for libraries I tend to still do the type assertion because it's a little more concrete and things are less likely to change over time, I think. But you still don't do errors as or as much. Yeah, I like errors as. I use errors as a lot, but errors as not so much. Why is this manually decoding? Yes, this is manually like decoding the route netlink messages. I wonder if there's a reason I didn't pull in JSIMonity RT netlink. I guess it's probably okay, but you wrap shit a lot. Well, so if you wrap shit a lot, then you should be using as and is, or else you're just causing yourself trouble. This all seems okay. Does not exist. This is actually no longer a problem, so we don't expose netlink errors directly to callers. So unpack to something more generic. OS error not exist. You wrap more for the context and extracting the original error. Yeah, I see what you mean. I do a little bit of both. I mean, I certainly, the context is the majority of it, but extracting the original error is occasionally handy if you're looking for like certain classes of errors, like a bad request in an HTTP service or similar. I still tend to do a little bit of both. This could be another errors as case right here, but I'm going to leave these alone because these are raw syscall errors, and we probably want to, things aren't really going to change. Okay, move on to the tests. So client Linux test does not exist. Client Linux test. Yep, configure test. Okay. Configure Linux test. These tests these are hairy. As far as the big nested data structures, like trying to get all that right was a non-trivial amount of effort, if you will. Oh, we're looking at the user space code now. Okay, hang on one sec. Yep. Okay, we're done with the Linux package. Moving to the user space code now. So internal. I should probably regenerate the constants and everything too. Does that still work? Internal WG. Let's give that a shot. It's been forever since I've done this. I probably don't have these tools installed. Yeah, C4Go and stuff. Yeah. Go generate. Oh. It did work. So I regenerated the file and nothing changed. Okay. So that's good. I guess the kernel interface is stable as expected, but that means no new fields have been added to the WireGuard kernel interface in a while, I suppose. So I don't actually need to open that, so. I guess I can go ahead and just, since nothing changed there, just undo that change. So back to where we were looking for all the instances of is not exist, right? So wg user. So the way this is divided is we have the Linux kernel package, the OpenBSD kernel package, the user space package, and then a couple of like shared testing infrastructure, things like creating test keys and shared client interfaces that everything has to implement. Allows us to kind of expose all these different OS interfaces under one unified interface. So I'm still pretty happy overall with this library. I think it's pretty good. It definitely gets more use than a lot of my libraries, and I probably don't give it the care it deserves. So it's one of the reasons I wanted to come back and take a look at it, you know. It's not exist. Hmm. Okay. Windows, Windows test. Of course, my imports won't work because it's got the Windows build tag. Client test, client test, client test, client test. So this is not exist still. There's probably a lot of things I wouldn't mind like cleaning up as far as like the actual overall structure of these tests and code, but I'm gonna leave a lot of it alone because I just don't want to make that many changes all at once. So unix.go. Yeah, so the user space code, the WireGuard Go on Unix like machines will like open a Unix socket and actually communicate on that. But on Windows, it opens a named pipe. So there are two different mechanisms here, and we've got code that implements both, which is pretty cool. So. And then the OpenBSD test. Okay. Oh yeah, this code is wild. Allocating memory. Yeah, doing an unsafe pointer conversion on the left hand side of an assignment, it means you're having a good old time. Named pipes have a max size of 4K. You've hit that bug before. Interesting. Oh, as far as the amount of data they can transfer at once. You wonder what else are the major trade-offs between Unix socket and named pipe? Yeah, I don't know. Actually, shoot, doesn't Windows 10 support Unix sockets? Like just straight up? So I wonder if Jason has made any effort to just use that in Windows 10 now. I'm not sure. Yeah, it definitely does. Nice. Yeah, I've never I haven't investigated it, but that would be something I would be curious about. Oh, okay. Is not exist. Error not. Let's see here. Check using errors is error not exist. Errors is error not exist. Yeah, cool. All right. Change. Use errors is go 113 plus errors is instead of OS is not exist. Sweet. One issue down. This is done. Yeah, some of these people, problems with IP forwarding, and it's like, I've narrowed down to this library, even if it makes no sense. It's like, it can't be this library. This library is for configuring WireGuard devices. It doesn't have anything to do with IP forwarding. So I don't know. Not able to get devices on Windows. Yeah, a lot of these we're going to have to like, it'd be nice to set up the development environment again, but I'm just not there at the moment. CentOS 7, kernel 310. Wow. Yeah, some of this is just beyond me. Like I can't troubleshoot everybody's like ancient operating system with backported WireGuard and whatever else. Like it just doesn't even make sense for me to do that. Excuse me. Empty messages, nil error. This is one of the really difficult things with this library. Wait, you're not Red Hat. Support for Mac OS. It already supports on Mac. Works fine on my device. I don't have a Mac. It's important that you bring up the interface before you configure it. Yeah, I mean, does anybody here have a Mac that they have WireGuard running on that they could like test that this works? Like, I'm pretty sure it will, but I just don't actually have a Mac machine at all. So, unable to open peer. You don't have anything but Tailscale on this Mac? Yeah, it's fair. Route is not added. Yes. See above, closing. Yep. Thank you, Dissonance, for helping me out. See, this user just doesn't understand that, like, oh, it doesn't add the route. People expect that the kernel interface does like the IP address and everything as well, but it doesn't. Those are all totally separate mechanisms. Like just getting the device created and configured the WireGuard specific parts is one thing, but then actually doing things like IP forwarding or routing or IP addresses, firewalling, those are all completely different subsystems. So deleting 400 keys takes 10 seconds. This would be a kernel module thing. I think like the performance of the kernel module itself, I would think. I'm not sure I can really help with that. This library doesn't actually have to do much work to issue a command to the kernel. So if deleting keys is slow, it is likely I would raise a message on I would contact the mailing list to see if there are known this library doesn't have to do much work to issue a command to the kernel, so if deleting keys is slow, I contact the mailing list to see if there are known limitations or areas for improvement in this regard. Closing, because I don't think this has anything to do with my library. So, TD Netto, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Not able to get devices on Windows. Any reason for this to happen? Yeah. Returns error, file does not exist. It definitely worked at one point. It's possible things have drifted a little bit. Like I said, I can't really test at the moment because I don't have my VM stuff set up. So works fine on my device. As far as I know, the above is true and everything should work fine once the device is up. Please advice is the ultimate Hail Mary contents of a GitHub issue. Yeah. Thanks to the Hi, big fan of your work. You're a huge proponent of Go and networking, and you've lately been working with NF tables. Nice. Hey, welcome. Glad you're here. I've done a little bit of NF tables fun too. It's definitely it's a bit of a bear to learn, but I'm pretty happy with it overall for my firewall instead of IP tables. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I don't have a Mac, so I kind of just want to close this out, especially since this user says that this works fine. But then you've got some of these other people like with the weird cross-compile super strange setup. Like I have no idea how to troubleshoot this, you know. Works on my machine. Yeah, I mean that's the reality is here is that you're using open source software, and if you're using an ancient kernel or cross-compiling or doing weird things, like there's really nothing I can do to help you. Problems with IP forwarding. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna. This user's bug report, like I can't dismiss this as like illegitimate because they've actually put in the work, but it's like as far as helping them fix it, it's just I don't know. It's kind of funny because I built this, but it's like I've never really built any applications with this library. So as far as understanding the intricacies of the kernel interface, like I'm unfortunately not the person really to ask. I know, for example, the Cilium folks are using this, and I think Mulvad is using it too. So there are like companies using this work now, so they would actually probably know the interface better than I would, which is funny. But I do wanna work on this at some point, the FreeBSD stuff. I think FreeBSD uses a thing called Mulvad is dope. Yeah, it seems pretty cool. I've never used their product or anything, but I like the idea of them doing like open source stuff, and actually they've contributed some code back to wgctrl-go, which is pretty awesome. So there's something in here about let's see. This is not that many v pair and v list. They can actually saturate your 1 gigabit per second connection. Nice. Yeah, so FreeBSD has this thing called an NV list, like name value list, I believe. And this is kind of like, I guess what seems like kind of a netlink alike for FreeBSD. So I think it would be pretty fun to implement this at some point. I wonder if somebody's already done it. I guess I should probably check. NV list. Oh. Interesting. Empty interface, so I have no idea how this works, I suppose, but go ZFS. I'd be curious to check that out at some point, but this is something we need to do at some point, as well as actually configuring the configuring peers for OpenBSD, because right now we have all the read-only code for OpenBSD, but as far as actually configuring the device, we have not done that. You're guessing that's pretty similar to net filter sets. I'm actually not familiar with net filter sets myself, so I think NV lists are most similar to netlink attributes. So netlink attributes being basically, like name type, or your typical TLV style where you've got the type, the length, and the value of an attribute, and they can just be stacked on each other. And it seems like this is kind of a similar thing. So the OpenBSD interface, actually, you pass like entire structures to the kernel, and they're fixed length, and you just tell how many of them there are, and you do like math pointer arithmetic basically to walk through them. The netlink stuff is a little cleaner, and this looks like it's going to be similar to the netlink as well, but I would just need a library that can do this. This is something I would like to do, but I don't know if I want to get into it tonight because my virtual machine setup is not really working at the moment. So, see if there's any other stuff I can like clean up in here. We've taken a look at some of the issues so far, so I'd be curious, WireGuard Go. Like if anything here has happened recently. Print kernel warning on. Yeah, so FreeBSD, OpenBSD, interesting. Yeah, I wonder if the Windows stuff in here is going to start using Unix sockets. That would be interesting. WinRIO. It's all black magic to me. Windows connection. Oh, this is the actual device. No, I want the user space API stuff, which is IPC. BSD. Unix socket. Windows. WinPipe. Yes, this is all still the name pipe stuff at the moment. So yeah, I would be curious if this would eventually, yeah, because this is the name pipe. I would be curious if eventually this were Unix socket on Windows as well, or Windows 10 at least. Let's see. So this code, let's see here. Linux has an in-kernel implementation. Oh, that's right. So I've got OpenBSD and the user space. Yeah, the OpenBSD stuff, I think that there was an issue at one point, like probing for its availability. Although now, I guess it's not really a problem because all the new versions of OpenBSD have it packaged in, I think. So, yeah, if I had a call here to invoke to probe for availability, devices won't work because it returns not found. But the interface group has no members. Yeah. I don't really want to. Yeah, I don't really want to like go configure my switch right now and stuff. That would just be probably more work than I want to get into for tonight. But yeah, this is pretty fun. Basically, you create this structure that mirrors what the C structure is. You pass it to an ioctl, which tells you how many members there are going to be. So how much memory you need to allocate. You actually allocate the memory and then like pass a pointer to the first element of the array to the kernel and tell the Go scheduler, by the way, don't do anything with this because we need to pass this memory to the kernel so it can populate it and come back out. And then we can actually iterate through it, which is pretty cool. So this was a lot of fun to figure out. It's pretty wild, that's for sure. So at some point I need to implement the configuring support for this as well, but nobody's actually asked for it either. Test code, yeah, must citer, must, yeah. The usual stuff. Somebody actually posted a message in the mailing list saying the user space code was not working for them on, I don't remember exactly what it was, but they weren't really a developer either. So I told them just to, yeah, I don't know. There comes a certain point where it's like, if you can't, I don't have access to your machine. Like, help me help you. It's tough. I think that's really one of the big things with like open source, especially stuff like this that's cross-platform, is like I don't have access to your machine or your network or anything else, and it's like all I can really do is work with the information you give me. Yeah, because this code has been fine forever. Everything here is good test coverage and everything else, so I don't know. Something I would be curious about is if there are any forks of this that people are actively developing on. That'd be the insights panel, right? Network. Give this a go. See what happens. Oh yeah, we got a few. Update go mod, fix go some, update rename imports, add Marshall. People do all kinds of weird stuff. Examples. Huh. What does that do? Add Marshall. Oh, JSON marshalling. Yeah, it looks like a couple people forked this and did a couple things, but not much coming back. Debugging code. Sometimes I'll look at stuff like this just to see like what kind of problems people are running into, but it looks like in this case they're just kind of tearing the library apart and doing weird stuff. Okay. Support for bind address. What does that mean? Oh, XML files, goody. What is bind address? Oh wait, there's oh. Is there a new attribute? There might be. I'll take a look at that. Fix go mod, update go mod. Yeah. All right. So there actually might be something new in the kernel, it looks like. So that would be, let's see here. Shoot. So allowed IPs. Hey, what's going on, Wilkins? Protocol version. Nothing here about bind. I guess if I go to, what is it, elixir.bootlin.org, this is the cool comp. I love this tool. For browsing the Linux kernel source, this is super helpful. So WireGuard.h, right? Oh, it's the identifier. So the latest version of the kernel has which attributes? This is 5.12.1. Yeah, we implement all this stuff. Update only. We might not actually support that. Let's see. Oops. Wrong keyboard shortcut. So peer, remove me, replace allowed IPs, update only. Let's see here. Replace peers. So there are a couple flags that we don't have. Am I pulling from an old version of the WireGuard? Yeah. I should be pulling from the kernel source these days. That would make more sense. So, actually, I'll grab this file at master at all times because that will be more up to date than the WireGuard old repo was. So, Linux generate. It didn't add any new constants. Device flag enumeration from line 146. Device flag. Oh, was I looking at the wrong enum? I think I might have been. Yeah, so remove me, replace slot IPs, update only. So we already had that, apparently. Okay. Huh. Why? I guess at least I could update this so that, internal Linux pull WireGuard source from upstream, or from Linux kernel. So we already have these attributes. Do we expose them at all? Replace slot IPs, update only. That would be replace slot IPs, update only, right here. Replace peers. Yeah, we do support both. Oh, I totally forgot I implemented these. Replace slot IPs, update only. Yeah. Huh. When did I add that? I feel like I added that after the fact, though. That was not an immediate thing. So 2 years ago. Totally forgot. Okay. Yeah, this library's been pretty static for a couple of years, even at this point. Are these badges broken? Oops. Oh. But actually, I messed up the readme, didn't I? Ah. That's funny. As one might expect. Readme, yep. Yep, that'll do it. I messed it up several times, actually. That entire URL is wrong. wgctrl workflows, right? This would be this. Yeah, there we go. Shoot. Fix the old readme once again. Readme, fix badges. Usual. Okay, that actually works now. So this needs to be updated. This needs to pull the latest version. Published April 27th. At latest, right? Anyway, I guess I'll update over time. Yeah, so there will be a FreeBSD implementation eventually. Well, gang, I think we might be calling it a stream pretty soon here. I don't have a whole lot else I really want to work on at the moment, and I wouldn't mind just going to chill out for a couple hours. It's weeknight too. Yeah, it's been pretty fun getting back into it a little bit, trying to see how things go. I need to set up my virtual machines again, and then probably spend like targeted time on Windows and OpenBSD especially. What are you gonna do? Hey, what's up, Jay? Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, so thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. This has been a good time, and hopefully we will get back and do this a lot more often, But alrighty, I will see you later. Bye now.